position. I can sit much more upright, be a confident speaker. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Get it? Text a message, I don't know the number.
Oh, that shit's hard, bro. How many times can you say you've worked out in the gym to that song? It's definitely on my playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're hitting the row machine, just bumping some Flacco. Jody.
Yeah, for sure. Busting out the rows.
All right. Well, busting out the rows. Welcome to Easy Side. Oh, nope. Bro.
No.
Welcome to the Easy Side Update, episode 38.
Yes.
Today is October 3rd.
Real quick, we're definitely touching on Skellies, but crowd surfers, shout out to them. They have doubled their mint price. They're up almost at 4 Solana now. Dead surfers are up at 8 Solana. So shout out to them, bro. That's a huge dub. You know, that they got something really going for them. There's pre-minting going on. So they're crowd surfers. But Skellies, yes.
Whoa. This is all everything's coming together. I don't know if you saw it, but there was actually an ASAP Rocky meme going around this last week of him stage diving and then instantly regretting it. Did you see it or no?
No.
I'll send it to you after, but
Okay.
just a coincidence because the song is ASAP Rocky this week.
I'll take what's mine, then take some more. It rains, it pours, it rains, it pours.
Do you want to read the quote?
Yeah. I take what's mine, then take some more. ASAP Rocky.
You're not gonna rap it, but at least sometimes if I like the song, I give it a little.
I take some more. That's all I got, dude. I don't know if I can do that again. I take what's mine. Nah, see, I can't. Nah, it doesn't feel.
I
real.
take what's mine, then take some more.
Let's go! Let's go! Why haven't we been doing this? Why did we stop doing this 2 weeks ago? This is ridiculous. This gets me so hyped when I hear you read the quote, dude. You hear me right now? I was dead past 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh, hey, dude, I ain't heard you. All right.
Yep. Don't worry. Plenty is edited right now
Plenty
at
is
this
edited.
point, so
Yeah.
you're welcome. Speaking of starting this podcast, I see Bugs Bunny at the starting line jumping up and down. Love that energy.
He's in it. I go into there are bad players, yes, but there have been bad players in every game ever played. And so I think what we're seeing is a lot of discouragement in our community to get in. You shouldn't feel that way. You should get in, take what's yours, and then go take some more. So go earn it. We're dealing with free markets, y'all. And real quick.
The articles are contradictory now because we were talking the NFTs about how everybody's divided footing it, and now I'm looking at the article and it says in crypto I see more unity than division.
Right. I mean,
I think we got to be aware of that.
You said NFTs though. We were talking NFTs. Now we're talking crypto. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like you find division and unity in different places, and the thing is NFTs. You see a lot more flipping than you do with crypto. You see a lot of people invested into the long-term vision with crypto than you do compared to NFTs. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah.
Right.
For the most part.
For the most part. Like I'm not knocking NFTs. I'm just saying there's a lot more like maturity in the crypto market, and there's a lot more maturity in traditional markets than crypto. You know, it's like there's just levels to the game, and that comes with time. And so I think we're moving into like the next part of the curve, I would say, like around the corner, and I go into that at the very end, that we just need to keep on going because we're like kind of right there where you know we talk about we got the smart business and the big money coming in, and it's undeniable now. You said that right before we started recording. You're like, yeah, dude, by the way, you're writing great articles, but they're even better because like everything is like bullish. So,
well, I mean, this week, because in my mind, I was like, it was kind of a slow week. Even when I was making the charts, I was like, ooh, kind of like not seeing anything interesting. But I was saying that's why we DCA and we build here.
Yeah, no, exactly. And kind of getting into the crypto news as well. That's how we can kind of play into all of it. It's you're seeing kind of back and forth. You don't know, up, down. Like Cali, you don't know if it was bad what they were doing or if it was good.
Were you talking about like hydraulics on a car, up and down like that? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Shout out. Is that what you meant?
No.
That's not what you meant. I didn't think that you were talking about it. All right. All right. Shout out to Blockthentic starting out the news. We got the headliner. I said, Blockthentic, it is an honor to have you as the main headline this week. Guys just crushing articles, at least 3 a day.
Crushing.
And this week we're starting off with California cracks down on 11 cryptocurrency firms. So I'm just going to say, I'm not going to say any names. I mean, I'm never gonna say a name, but I'm just gonna say that I've seen. What's funny about it is I've seen it on Facebook before, but remember I was telling you about like a concept that I was seeing, and it was like teaching people how to like read charts, and that's great. Like teach them the indicators,
right?
But there was like another level where like I could see that like, oh, they want people to like join in,
right?
And like initially it doesn't sound like a scam,
right?
But it's like. You teach people how to hunt, like, which is a very similar goal for us.
Right, of course.
And then, like, realistically, you're just like a ginormous engine of data, you and everybody else.
Right.
You're like, oh, here's the indicators, here's where the breakouts are, like, and you're super excited, and success gets rewarded, but you also get success for bringing people in.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I mean, I can't lie. I've fallen for some multi-level marketing before. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, hey, this is it. This is how we get rich. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
But long story short, that's where my brain went
Right.
to when I read this article. Because, let's see, what do they say? Basically, it's being ran like a Ponzi scheme.
I don't know personally if, like, I don't know what these companies have done. So, like, because I'm not on their books, right? I'm not working with their company, but, like, California did say they're pro-crypto at some point. You and I have discussed that. So, I don't think this is them saying, no, we don't like crypto. But what sucks is it's like, all right, please don't discourage business. I mean, when you told me to go back to the edits, that was one thing I tried to make sure, like, I made very clear, because I didn't want to come across as like California is doing the wrong thing out here and bad California, because, and that's where the mindset has to start to change. I think the pressure is coming from the public on Gary Gensler. You can definitely see it through the energy through the internet. So a lot of these representatives and officials are going to be checking their ass over the next few months, particularly. But after that, it's going to be back to trying to get hired or keep your position, because the elections will be over.
I mean, hey, he went after the big fish, the big booty fish. He went after Kim Kardashian, and I was like, you've honestly crossed the line. She can pump and dump whatever she wants as long as it's recorded. Okay?
Yeah.
And back to the article, like, I don't think that it's bad. Like, I feel like it was just bad players, like clearly bad players.
Right.
I didn't hear any Coinbase. I didn't hear FTX. I didn't hear any big exchanges. So, I mean, if they're being ran like a Ponzi scheme,
get them.
All right.
Get
nice
'em.
try. I mean, it was fun while it lasted.
The thing is how are you benefiting the people that are getting invested into what you're doing, and how do you run the business after you do that? That's kind of why a lot of these facilities and institutions have been created through the government, is so that they can overwatch these things being developed. For sure, that's okay. Okay, as a government, right, trying to govern a society, okay, yeah, we should have rules and barriers, and, so we can build infrastructure around that, for sure. And so, this is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity to go into the next part with the Fed, because I don't think a lot of people, after last week, it was last week we were talking about Fed and the interest rates for all week, and the week before that, And so now we skip this week, and we're getting closer and closer to November, right? And I know people don't want to talk politics, but 2 to 4 years, like, it will come into play with the markets. It will. It just does. And so here we are. The Fed is a month pretty much before the elections, okay, is now coming out talking about one of their main concerns being cryptocurrency and blockchain, okay? Not only did they talk about it once, but they go through it several times, right? And then, these quotes come out, and they're talking about, okay, the Fed, we support responsible innovation, encourage Congress to pass good regulation on stablecoins, And then decentralized finance needs to be regulated with care and consideration, not with, I mean, it seems like they understand. Don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Not tarnish. Don't stifle innovation. Let us build. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. Let us build. So,
well, and I agree with what you were initially saying. Like, I almost felt like this was quiet. Like, this was quietly bullish news, but then I was like, are we all just kind of sick of him? I was like, do we really not care what Powell has to say that much that he can say something great? And then we're just like, yeah, no, okay, we're going to just kind of not even talk about it.
Yeah, thanks for joining the game now, Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
We're in the fourth quarter, you know what I mean? We've got our ass kicked, but we're about to make a comeback right here.
And I think the comments look nice on paper, but we'll have to see if the action justifies it.
Well done. Absolutely. Can't just say something. You gotta be about action. And CFTC this week, maybe they were about some action, possibly. This is the thing. Shout out to Happenings real quick. I want to give this shout out because he brings up the CFTC, or when the CFTC is brought up around him, I've seen him not get he goes and kind of shows the way about him. Like, oh, hey, maybe it's not as bad as some of it seems, because yes, we've been bombarded with government officials and government institutions. Nobody can make up any rules or figure out what to do about blockchain technology, honestly, right? But then it comes down to Commodities and Futures Trading Commission, right? Or trades, or whatever the T is for, right? So,
yep, Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
So the CFTC came out and kind of flexed their muscle a little bit, which is good news, right? We want action, because if somebody's out here doing bad play in the futures and options market, right, which is kind of like what you saw with Celsius doing with Lend, or AAVE, right? And they were borrowing, and then they were using that and leveraging that out as well. That, honestly, how irresponsible could that possibly be? You know what I mean? Honestly, when you really look at it. But that's what the CFTC possibly could be trying to prevent. That's good. We support that.
Yep. And like I said, they were with Ripple last week, chatting things out, and then this week they're laying the hammer down like Johnny Sins or Too Easy Trizzy. And what they're claiming is that the firm and founder, Adam Todd, failed to register with the CFTC and additionally attempted to pump its native token. So I totally agree with what you said. You kept it so simple in the article. You said if a company was offering options and futures on their platform and did not register with the SEC, then yes, this is understandable.
Right. If anybody's developing in Web3 and they want to be in the United States, they need to think about those things that they're offering, right? So if you're offering anything that's giving people an opportunity to borrow value on, and then they can go out and leverage that value out as well, and they still have an IOU, I mean, just be aware of what you're doing. Like Lend, right? AAVE, I think they've done it pretty well, keeping it to the blockchain and making sure the ecosystem balances itself out. That it's good. We like AAVE, but we know this is super new. So, but what's not new is futures and commodities, right? And trading. These things are not new. These are old things. And if the CFTC can be organized and can really protect investors, we can really grow. And that's the thing, is we do want to see our market grow. We don't want to hurt it anymore, man. It's like that we already know people have done bad to us, right? We just got to keep going. And if those guys that came in and kicked our ass, do you remember that bully that came in? I know you didn't have no bullies. I get it. Maybe you did, but you never.
I was on the football team in high school, so when everybody else got traumatized.
Right. But you get your ass kicked by the bully, right? And then turns out you come back around, and that dude becomes like your best friend, right? Or somebody whoops your ass, and next thing you know, you're best friends a few years later.
Hey, I'm sorry you get beat up. It's okay.
No.
But one thing I was reading about this article, hear me out before we really exit this part of the article, but when I first read this article, I was like, It doesn't sit well that an exchange is offering futures, also offers a native token. But then I felt like a hypocrite because I was like, dang, well, like an exchange with a native token, like Crow, we rode that bad boy to the mountaintop from the very bottom. And it was like, wow, no, that was tight. But I don't know why it didn't sit well. Like, how would a native token help an exchange in general?
So, like, the value of the coin or token that is on an exchange as the native token or coin, it's predicated on the value of the whole ecosystem of that company, right? To an extent. It's like, and that's where it gets so gray area with like, are we talking securities or not? Well, when you talk about fundamentals behind crypto, no, you're not. But when you talk about the actual trading and the way people use it, yes, you are. And that's where rules have to be completely different for crypto. You don't make the same exact rules. You understand from the past, and then you make better rules for this as we go along. And this is, I think coming back to it, stable coins, they're predicated on the value of the ecosystem that they're bound to. Okay. So if somebody is creating a native stable or a native currency to their platform, like BNB, and then he takes all that value that he raised with BNB and he's out here doing futures and options plays and trying to gain fast money quickly. And the problem is at that point, you how do you have self-discipline, right? How do you have, honestly, if you're willing to take that much risk on that's not even yours, where's your discipline and how can people trust you? That's criminal. That is. Because that's,
is it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I was just out. My brain just went to like, are you sure? Because like, if you gave me $500 and told me to bet football on it, I'd be like, heck yeah, I would.
Follow. If you're taking people's retirements and millions and billions of dollars, though, that's where it's...
And betting it on Cardinal money line?
Absolutely. You need to take your ass to jail.
All right.
But I mean,
well,
it's
there
a
goes
good bet,
my second game plan.
It's a good bet, though. I mean,
all right.
But if people are having bad practices like that, they need to be made accountable of. The reason they need to be made accountable is because other people need to learn from that so it doesn't happen again. So that's what we lead into. We don't want another Celsius or Voyager moment. And if you study the story, that's exactly what happened.
Yep. All right, let's get into the next article.
Because it ties right into it.
You want more? Are you not done?
Well,
Are you not done?
It
okay.
Ties right into it.
Well, before we get into it,
go ahead.
Do you have like your hands available like to click on the article?
Yeah.
Okay, can you click on the article?
Okay.
Do you see it? Like, look at the title. Tell me if you like, where like the banners in the background and you can see like literally the title of the article. How awful is it? I literally can't read it.
Too easy?
You see where it's...
yes, you're talking about the article.
No, not ours.
Article.
Yeah. No. Click this one, the Bitcoin magazine
My
one.
My bad. Yeah. So it looks different on my iPad, but I saw it in the notes that you were showing, and I was like, yeah, dude, you go blind trying to read that. It like blends.
So it's not like that? Okay.
Yeah, not on my iPad, but on that.
All right, great. Because I was going to roast them. Can't even read it.
Yeah.
It's trash. Like, they need some help with the digital marketing. Yeah. You and Max Kaiser might be friends after all.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, dude, I could have a couple of drinks with Max. I bet he's a dope dude, bro. That's the thing that sucks. Is like there's such good people out there, but sometimes like I think people let their emotions get in the way of like opening up to so much more that this world has to offer. Like Bitcoin's not the only thing out there. Is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like, don't act like that. Like, bonds aren't the only thing out here. Stocks. Like, there's so much more out here, and people need to have these tools in their hands. And speaking of tools in the hands, people's 401k plans. Okay, yes, I just dropped some bars. That is what it is. But people having the opportunity to put crypto into their 401k plans, why the hell not? You got terrible, irresponsible practices happening all the time in traditional markets, ruining a housing market in 2008 and putting millions of people on the streets, like just over some stupid plays. I think we should have the right to put in decentralized economics into our 401ks. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, hey, thanks for joining the party. I mean, I'm pretty much doing it all off these like memes I see. It's like Riley's Reads.
Yes.
And then I was like, these are great.
Yeah.
Holy cow, look at this information in the top 10 crypto moves.
Yeah.
But back to the article, I just like that we have congressmen and women fighting this fight with us.
That's right.
So shout out to Utah politician.
That's right.
That's my girl.
Shout out.
But yeah, what do you think of all this? I mean, it kind of says it all right in front of you. Hey, Bitcoin, crypto, and the 401ks. This is what we were dreaming about.
Last year when we started doing this, I don't know if you remember, but I think it might have been in New York or Chicago, or they were talking about unions, but they were talking about they were going to take workers, frontline workers, and they were going to take their pension plans and start diversifying it into Bitcoin or crypto. And I don't know if you remember that, but I've stuck tight. I've held on tight to that idea for a long time because I think it's brilliant. It's brilliant because eventually the crows will come to crow, the
crow. Don't worry, I'm just helping you out.
Yeah,
I could see
I appreciate it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My brain is melted, bro. Melted. But getting back to it.
Hey kids, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. 401k plans, friends. This is good. This is good. You want that type of value to be able to diversify because like we just said, one last point. 38k Dow, we just touched 28k. Okay, that's a lot of value sitting on the sidelines. Money needs to go somewhere. No?
I'm just saying don't do the transition. I feel you. I feel the wave.
Yeah.
Cuz
I don't know. That wasn't. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No,
You see where I was going, but I did want to ask you one question.
Yeah, hit me.
So, this bill that's seeking to allow Bitcoin and crypto and 401ks, it says the bill seeks to remove liability for a breach of fiduciary. That's how hungry I am. Fiduciary duty for offering access to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So, removing the liability. Does that mean like they're like, all right, F it, I guess it is decentralized? Or like, what does that mean? Because we see some who are looking to be like the holders and the trusted source. And then this makes me feel like they're like, hey, you can do it, but I mean, F it, dude. Right. Don't lose it.
I think it's good in a way because it might encourage these businesses to go after it and do it. So to go raise capital and to go encourage people to come in. The problem is after raising that capital, how do we keep these people responsible? Well, that's where the CFTC can come into play, right? So it's important for any company that's big. Okay, sure, liability issues to a certain extent. Why should they be held for other people's irresponsibility? For sure, that makes sense, right? But on the other side of this, if these companies are borrowing a lot based on their value and borrowing that out and then getting another set of value, maybe there's a trigger put into place on what the value is and how much risk is allotted to that, right? And that's important. I'm serious. We should have some type of financial responsibility, but this is the problem here, right? Is greed gets in the way and these people get people into the lobbying and they make the rules and, you never see anybody get in trouble. Why is Duquan not arrested, bro? Interpol, you're like number one most wanted man out there. Like people want answers and we can't find this guy? Nah, bro. You don't have $40 billion disappear and you're in charge of it and you don't walk out with a dime. That's not how that works. This man is shuffling money around to so many people right now, fighting for his life, bro. Please don't catch me if you can.
Yeah. He's wanted in like 120 countries. That has to at least be equivalent to 5 stars on Grand Theft Auto. He's like, honestly, if I step outside and I play this game one more time, I'm literally F. There's gonna be a tank outside.
Exactly. Yo, dude, he's in a situation, and I don't see how he's getting out of that, dude. And so, but having where we're at with these markets, if this was to happen, and this gets passed, because remember, it's Congress, it's legislation, it's passing through. It's got to make it on the president's desk, and then he's got to sign it. And what's tough about that...
he has to remember his name first.
Okay, yeah.
I thought you were going to say that's what's tough about it.
I mean...
sorry.
Man, I get it.
No, well,
we could.
It's good.
I mean,
come on.
But it's like, even if it does make it to his desk, we saw what the White House thought of crypto the other day. They wanted to say it's really bad, but CBDCs are really good. It's like the complete reversal of what the majority thinks within the crypto community, period. Right? Like, people that don't know anything about crypto hear that and they're like, oh, CBDC, it's got to be good. It links to the dollar and my money's already digital. We trust them. And that's like, okay, no red flags for you, bro? You know?
I mean, it'd be like, hey, well, now I can get wasted at the bar and not even be worried about losing my credit card, right? As long as I don't lose my phone.
Very true. Very true. But this is...
But wait, don't say very true like I'm defending a CBDC. I mean, F the world, right?
I mean, you know, I'll be honest, man. I want to get as far away from a CBDC as possible. And if this bill sits on this president's desk, I don't think he's going to sign it. I really don't. You know?
Can't find the pen?
Can't find the pen, you know? And it depends where the pens are at. And maybe, in the end, he'll sign his name on the mat. Oh, maybe that's cool. I don't know.
I thought when you said depends, you were talking about the end, like his end, because you said depends. Maybe he's wearing depends.
Ooh.
I know he doesn't have any friends.
And this is where this ends. Let's go. So,
oh, wow.
Let's talk about rhythm, rhyme for no reason, decoupling. That would be the opposite of the rhythm or rhyme of following the regular traditional markets. Is it going to happen? And we got opinions on this subject, bro. Would you like to share yours? I will share mine if you share yours. Decoupling.
This feels like the scene in American Pie 2 when they're like, "We'll do it if you do it."
No,
that's how it feels.
Not what we're doing.
All I know is Bubba Crypto was saying it a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, if there was a better time, I mean, why not now? When there's the least amount of trust in the system as a whole, I mean, let's see it." Like they say in the article, Bitcoiners generally prefer that Bitcoin does not have a high correlation with traditional assets because, after all, one of the core tenets, I don't know that word, tenets, not tenants. That's someone who's living in there rent free.
Tenants.
All right, I won't say anything political right there. But the tenants that it bypasses the traditional market. So why do you got to do that? It throws off my focus.
Because it helps me get back into focus.
Yeah, no, I just hear a lighter and then I'm like, what, is there a fire? There was combustion.
There's a fire. No,
and then he wonders why he's out here like, oh, my brain melting. Can we get back to it? All right, hold on. Let me just redo that whole part. Don't worry. I'm going to tie into it.
Get it.
So like the article says, Bitcoiners generally prefer that Bitcoin does not have a high correlation with traditional assets. After all, one of the core tenets is that it bypasses the traditional market. I almost made it. One more time. I almost got it. Ready?
Yeah.
So the article says that Bitcoiners generally prefer that Bitcoin does not have a high correlation with traditional assets. After all, one of the core tenets is that it bypasses the traditional market.
Right, exactly. That's why it was created. And so when we started talking about decoupling 4 or 5 months ago, people look at it like it's an insane idea. For sure, insane idea then. But as time goes on, things can always change. Like, people didn't expect 2008 to happen, right? The housing market, the guy that decided to short the entire housing market, they were laughing at him when he was asking for, you know, millions and millions and hundreds of millions of shares, you know? So, but fuck, dude.
Do you want me to read that part again?
Yeah.
Give it a try?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Honestly, everybody needs like a 30-second timeout or a 5-minute timeout. Hey, Evan, how you doing? Don't worry, because I don't want to ruin this for the future you, but we're about to get it freaking together. So like the article says, Bitcoiners generally prefer that Bitcoin does not have a high correlation with traditional assets. After all, one of the core tenets is that it bypasses the traditional market.
Yeah.
So you were the first one that brought it to the attention. You're saying 4 to 5 months ago, but when you said it like the last 2-3 weeks, I was like, hey, I mean, there's not a better time. There's the least amount of trust. Sorry, I was like Lamar Jackson. Big trust.
Big trust.
All right, so back to it. the trust and the establishment as a whole is at an all-time low. The printer is at an all-time high, and
That was great.
thank you. That wasn't planned either. After I started rapping with you, I was like, I can actually do this. I felt like Eminem after he won his first battle. I was like, holy cow, I can freaking do this. I might throw up before every episode, but it is what it is.
It is what
the greats
it
do
is.
it.
That's right.
But speaking of the greats, I mean, I just wanted to shout out all the crypto legends that paved the way for us to even see this as possible. Because the article, it had the Cameron Winklevoss tweet where he says, Bitcoin has been remarkably resilient the past few weeks despite the stock market losing trillions in value. No idea if this is the bottom, but there's been a curious decoupling. Are folks starting to re-examine the disaster insurance thesis?
Oof.
So that was opening the door. But then just in general, I was like, oh, I'm going to need like more for decoupling. And, we trust the legends. A lot of the legends have some things to say. So we had BitLord say, crypto is holding so well. How long can it actually go? Yeah. This could be the generational shakeout. Yeah. And then you add that to Blunt, who's talking about Ethereum specifically. He was talking about how it's a breakout. Yeah. And this is the start of a new leg up. And then just before we started the episode, I had to retweet Crypto Kaleo. Just feels good to be a bull, man. It feels like if we got like some low-key energy. Plus, we're like at the very bottom. The decoupling is almost because it's like the only people who are in it are really, really in it, and they're not coming out of it.
They're not. I don't see BitLord ever. I would hope not. He's the flagship of crypto. So I don't think it's all going anywhere, man. I think a lot of this is here to stay. Cameron Winklevoss, shout out to the Winklevoss twins. That's obviously two of the biggest OGs in the crypto space. And I do like Gemini. I do like Zcash. Sorry, BitLord. And I do like Filecoin. And I know those two investments are tough and maybe they go to zero, but what they are and what they were made for, their purpose, I believe in. And I think Gemini has an opportunity to, kind of bounce back from all of that. I don't think they're going to zero.
Yeah. I just want to say that if BitLord unfollows me because you said Zcash on this podcast, I don't know what the future is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
I might have to do a podcast with BitLord. Just throwing it out there.
It's fine. I get it. I mean, I'll be the manager. I'll just work on the back end, dude. It's cool. Work where I belong.
Is that the manager or another Johnny Sins reference? Okay. Either way, we'll get back into something, a little more family friendly.
Yes.
So we got Disney is hiring an attorney to work on blockchain, metaverse, DeFi, and NFT products.
Yeah.
Elaborating on the responsibilities that come with that job, the Walt Disney Company further wrote, now that I actually read it out loud, I'm like, oh, this doesn't gel at all. But F it, I'm just going to go full send, dude. Like a decentralized degenerate.
It's a long paragraph. Go for it.
Oh, I got it. Watch this.
Go.
One take, not a single edit.
Go.
Here's what they're looking for with those responsibilities, all right? They wanted to provide full product life cycle legal advice and support for global NFT products, working in close collaboration with other Disney attorneys and business stakeholders, including Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution and Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. Ensure NFT product compliance with applicable U.S. and international law and regulation. And after that was literally one take. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I don't have to stand up and read. I knew right where we were at. I don't have to be embarrassed. Life is good. F that teacher.
Boy, dude, the end of that, you were wobbling, but you did good.
Oh, that's because I was like, like when it's really long, and then you're like, man, I'm just happy I survived reading in public because all those words and the low amount of breaths I took, really made me lightheaded. But either way, back to the point. This is my only point, is that they're not doing all this for no reason.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. And another big part of this, with all that you said, could you imagine having that position, that job, working for them, being the middleman between the metaverse and the reality of Disney? Like, they're like, we're looking for one lawyer. Nah, bro. Nah. You're looking for a team, a squad.
Wait, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was laughing at that. It literally felt like they were asking for one lawyer, and I was like, all right, dude. That's a tough task. I'm gonna need Captain America or like Tony Stark to come back from the dead. Yeah, I said it. F you, Spider-Man. We need that.
Yo, you got Marvel, Pixar, Star Wars, Disney. I mean, no, dude, not one guy. But yeah, Disney. I wrote a lot for this part and then took a lot of it out. But I dove a lot into Disney because the company means a lot from the perspective of Walt Disney as the person and what he created. And I said in here, the spirit of Walt and his imagination lives on through creators in the meta, and that is something the Disney company will need to embrace while entering into this space, without a doubt. And he was the kind of guy to take somebody else's vision and make it 1,000 times better. And that's what we see in the NFT community and the crypto community. We just sometimes we run before we know how to even crawl, you know? And it's like, I think we've really learned a valuable lesson this year as a community. And I think Disney obviously hopping in means something. It means something a lot to this community. I mean, the metaverse, look at what they're doing. So, yeah, I'm bullish. I'm bullish on them and MATIC, dude.
I just pictured a situation, and I was just like, because you said Walt Disney's going to be like, look how far we've come. He's going to be like, I made one of the most entertaining animations that lasted a lifetime. Or, I mean, it became a franchise forever.
Yeah.
And now we're just going to make NFTs, and like Mickey Mouse is going to be like smoking blunts and like having face tattoos and like chains, diamond chains and stuff.
That's fine.
I'm sure he's proud of us. Going to take my mom out to Disneyland for her 60th birthday. No big deal. I'm just a great son, just doing my job, you know. We just want to, you know, look like Madville villains with our Mickey Mouse ears and have an epic time during the bear market.
That's right. That's right. Shout out to the villains, and shout out to your mom, bro. We freaking love her.
I think we've shouted her out like 3 out of the last 5 episodes, but you know, she's a great lady.
She's an amazing person. We love her. Something also just as amazing, Chainlink. Chainlink coming in talking about we are talking about the recognition they deserve. Very huge partnerships with Coinbase and Swift. I see you got excited when you started talking about the partnership with Coinbase Cloud. Do you want to go further into that? Why are you hyped behind it?
So I got hyped about Chainlink mostly because it's been my favorite project to buy this whole entire bear market, and it's just more proof in the pudding. It's like this is where you go for data.
Exactly.
Like Chainlink is the one.
On board
At least
that data.
Not my. That's only my opinion. I'm a comedian. I'm literally just a redheaded guy walking down the street. You wouldn't even notice me. But, you know, I love the collaboration, Chainlink and Coinbase. I mean, Coinbase has had Chainlink since I started in the game. So seeing that mutual respect and them continue to build, especially in the NFT marketplace, you know, everybody's kind of watching the NFT marketplace get developed as we... like right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing that people are interested in, especially, you know, traders looking for floor prices, they want a better way to monitor. And, you know, it's not perfect. Shout out to Magic Eden, though. They've put in like a lot of work and given a lot of resources. Mm-hmm. But I think that next step would be to figure out some sort of like way to get price notifications and monitor the floor a little more easy and quicker.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What was your takeaway with it?
I think Chainlink is onboarding the data, and Coinbase could not have gone with a better project, right? And Chainlink is going to their main net, going to staking. This is all great news. Go Chainlink. We're really excited for the Link Marines. This is some good stuff. And then we also have Swift as well. That's another partnership. And Swift is the payment system, right?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Oh, wrong link.
Just want to make sure.
Don't worry, I got it. Whoa, shout out to Chainlink. Well, I say wrong link. There's never a wrong Chainlink, though. All right,
That's
the data says so.
That's right.
All right, now that was good stalling. So Swift is the interbank messaging system that allows for cross-border payments.
That's what I thought. Data provider Chainlink, again, coming back to it, they're onboarding data, and it's going to be used on their protocol, and that transaction speed and getting that data to pop up through their oracles, and that's their technology, right? That's great news.
Yep.
That's what, and so with a payment system as well, right? That's what you just said. That's what Swift is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, and Swift, their strategy director, basically confirmed what you were just saying during the last article. Institutional or interest from institutional investors moving into crypto has been undeniable. Like that's a pretty strong statement.
Yeah.
And then we had Sergi.
We love Sergi.
Feels weird to say that name. We do love Sergi. I'm going to get into how much I love Sergi after I tell you what he says. He said, this will help accelerate the adoption of distributed ledger technology, blockchain. Sorry, I read that bad. Let me get back to it. Ready? This will help accelerate the adoption of distributed ledger. You know what it was? When you made that snot noise, I literally thought that was COVID. You threw me off. I can't read and then know that there's a deadly virus over here. All right? Last time, This is the only version that they hear. So Sergi says, this will help accelerate the adoption of distributed ledger. God.
That one got me. I didn't expect it. That's why it got me. They killed me. I was like,
all right, don't worry. I'm getting it this time.
Yeah, that's cool.
So Sergi says this will help accelerate. Okay, shut up. Shut your stupid freaking mouth.
Accelerate. It was good.
So Sergi says this will accelerate the adoption of distributed ledger technology blockchains and benefit various institutions across capital markets. And he says that at SmartCon 2022, which, I mean, just this little bit that I've watched so far made me love Sergi even more, because the clip of him like wiping his hands off on his pants and then shaking the other guy's hands, I was like, that is literally, it's just highest honor, respect. That's like salute emoji. I mean, what a nice guy.
Yeah.
Literally dries off his hands and then shakes your hand and like doesn't hide it. It's just like, hey, I want you to have a firm handshake. This is what I mean. Yeah. I literally think he's too smart to not be polite.
Yeah.
So credit to him.
And I think a lot of the leaders in crypto could take some notes on him. So it's beautiful. It's great. We're moving forward with Link. And also, you know who made some moves this week? Talking about moving forward, Robinhood. I was surprised seeing that them going into Web3 with Polygon. What did you find out more about this? I got some pretty unique thoughts about this.
You got some taboo thoughts. All right, well, let's get into it. Robinhood taps Polygon over Ethereum for its Web3 wallet beta launch. This is interesting, though. No network fees.
No network fees.
As well as earn yield by connecting with other decentralized applications.
Right.
And then they credited Polygon for its scalability, speed, low network fees, and robust developer ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's hear those taboo thoughts. All right, were you feeling a little frisky about this article?
So I'm excited that Robinhood is taking their no fees into Web3, because that is something you get dinged for in Magic Eden. Every single transaction is 2%. And so I think this is great because Robinhood is entering into that field of competition. The problem is good for Robinhood, but long live GameStop and Doge, though. And that's the bad news. And shout out to anybody. If you know, you know. And we should never forget. So those are my thoughts on it, honestly, man. I'm not...
All good. Hey, it's only 10,000 people that were on the wait list, but I mean, if it's good for crypto, then it's good with me.
So crypto moves. This week, I wanted to dive into Flow and Near with you. They both got my attention because I saw some things that I like to see that a lot of people don't want to look at, okay? As silly and confusing as that sounds. But you start to see, I'm seeing something really unique, and I want to point all this out to you, okay? So if you were to take the chart of flow and if you were to zoom out, right, you would see that we've come to a point of the chart where it's coming down to like a solid horizontal movement, right?
Right.
Okay. So now that you have that, you have the RSI reaching that level of oversold. But this is more short term because you have this from October to July. So that, I mean, it's not like extremely short term, but it's shorter term compared to, 3-4 years or whatever. Okay. Or whenever it came out. So, but what you do is you have the RSI oversold indicator getting around the point that you talk about. And then you get the MACD lines and you're starting to get smaller and smaller waves, right? And I'm curious. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's not like in the oversold area though.
It's not all the way there. Yeah, I know that. Like it's because you said it's 30, right?
Okay.
The 30 is the oversold.
Yeah,
area.
below it, and it was at like
30,
39. I mean, that's not super low, but it's definitely like where I would start looking and be like, okay, let's continue to watch this.
Yeah, you're getting close to that area of the RSI, and then you're also at like kind of like a bottom area when you zoom out. I'm not saying we're at the bottom, but when you zoom out looking at the sideways movement you're seeing, your RSI is getting close these levels, and you see the RSI get closer to 30 and you see that MACD line get thinner. All I'm saying is you have more of a chance of getting buyers right here because of the chance of risk to reward ratio that we like to talk about. And here's your indicators, right? But the indicators are indicating at this moment in time a better opportunity for yourself to set yourself up with, right? That's what you and I are finding out through these tools, using Fibonacci, using the RSI, and now the MACD. This is making a lot more sense, and somebody could get way more bullish on it. Look at how we bounced right off of that. What is that?
Like August, September, or August, like mid-August.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah, no, and that was what was interesting because I'm like, whoa, they're like over the last 2-3 months, just strictly like not doing any futures or anything. Like there wasn't that many opportunities where you could see an investment go 2x and double up your money right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, oh, that's just like a sign, and that was basically reacting to. What was it? Was it the like Instagram and Facebook using Flow NFTs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then like you said, I mean, when you zoom like in, like we're talking, 3 months, I mean, you look at pretty much like the last 2 weeks and it's just like horizontal, like about as horizontal as you can see. So,
yeah,
I mean, I like Flow, and I think like they've solidified their future outside, like just based on fundamentals. And I mean, I'm pretty excited for them.
Yeah.
But like you said, the MACD, you see like the momentum slowing up, and you see the last 14 days obviously showing that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the same.
Did you like anything else about the chart or no?
Those are the main things that I was pointing out.
Oh, was it similar with both Near and Flow?
Yeah, both of them kind of are starting to get to that point, except Near had a nicer bounce in between September and October than Flow did, which I think where Flow loses steam is because there's all these other NFT platforms, right, on these other blockchains, and they have competition. And that's going to be tough for them because Solana NFTs, why are we so excited? Because of the Web3 utility part of it, possibility. That's like being able to have that possibility of investment is awesome. So I think Flow comes a little short, but Near seems to have that energy. So that's why I think they got a nicer spike in between September and October. Look at your RSI and your MACD. You're coming to that point of 30. And you also zoom out and you look at where we've come from the top to where we are now. You got more of a risk to reward ratio. You want to buy closer to the down. You want to buy down here. You don't want to be buying up there.
And I think Flow definitely has a future, as I just said. Yeah. But then when you were talking about it, like the NFT marketplace, like one thing that I would like evaluate is like, in credit to Solana, like they have a wave, like NFT, they've got the NFT volume. And what do you remember what did Block say about like Solana versus even Ethereum? Like obviously Ethereum is like blue chips, like solid, but like the mental state of investors, it's like you would much rather play around and trade NFTs on Solana, but Ethereum is like, okay, solid blue chip. Like, I'll be honest, it's hard for me to want to spend any Ethereum just because of my perspective. Like, I love Ethereum. I don't want to just lose any Ethereum, any of my hard-earned money, which I've already invested, into something that there is more volatility than I want. Like, I don't want the volatility with Ethereum, especially with the price of one Ethereum. So, I mean, you consider that, but I think Flow, they'll continue to develop. They've already had so much fundamentals. They really just need more of that volume. And I think that we'll see that in the future. Not financial advice.
We'll see it if they're able to tap into like the power of Discord and community and developing plug and play apps that can work on top of their blockchain. These are the things that, like, if they're quick on their feet and can get up to speed with that stuff and, you know, streamline people into that, they will benefit. Absolutely. And Near's on that wave, dude, because Skelly, shout out to Skelly's, shout out to Block. That's how we found out about them. But we love the energy with these guys because they're on the Near blockchain, and it's nice to find a blockchain successful on Near and have them come on over to Solana for sure. Like, let's experience this with you guys because cross blockchain is going to be tough. It's going to be difficult. It's different communities.
Yeah. I mean, even just having success in this market is going to be difficult, and that's why we say diversification is key. Yeah. And that's why I wrote in my notes, I was like, love Near. I think it brings great diversification. Yeah. It adds a little bit of the, you know, I keep saying diversification. I'm not going to say it another time, I promise. But diversification. Oh, I just lied to you. Diversification, I said it twice now, in the interoperability sector. And I'm like, love that. And, you know, you have FTX offering yield with Near. And then, I mean, Binance 11.1%. So you consider that. And it's a newer play for me. So that's where I'm building here.
Yeah. None of this is financial advice, obviously.
No. I'm literally a comedian.
But
that's how I'm identifying as.
But be smart with your investments. Diversify. He is correct. But
yep. And I think overall, one of my takeaways with all these crypto moves is, you know, that feeling when it's like so boring in the markets. Like, zoom out, we only looked at the 3 months, and like looking at these charts, I was like surprised when you were excited about anything, because I think my first note was like, yeah, this is what I say this week was boring. For sure. And when you look at these charts, I'm like, really not appealing when you zoom out. Like, but when there's no noise, that's when you got a question. That's right. And, you know, that's when things start to happen. You know, that's probably what bottoming out feels like. I mean, we got all the crypto legends talking like some bullish sentiment, and we have it literally boring, exactly like when you would least expect it. So we'll see what happens.
I want to share something with you real quick before we go into the ending part, okay? Benjamin Blunt's 2018, okay? We're at the end of 2018. And he goes, this is the bottom. This is where we're hitting, okay? And this is where we're going. And then we drop from like 6K down to 3K. Okay, like he called that before that happens, right? Calls the bottom like a month or two before that. And then I find a video talking about dollar cost averaging. And I look at where Bitcoin's at, and I look at where it went to. And I'm like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. So I'm just going to do it with what I understand right now. So I did it with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And I put all my faith in Blunts. I was like, yeah, dude, this guy's got it right, and I'll just cost average in. Changed my life. And what is that man saying right now about Ethereum? You know, I saw the tweet earlier you posted, September 26th.
Yeah.
Man's talking.
Yeah. He said time's next leg up. We're ready for it.
We're ready for it.
Back to I take what's mine, then take some more. Yeah. I mean, with the sentiment, I mean, this feels like where you want to be. Like, if you've been working and you've been putting in the work, like, yeah, we've been building, so we're excited. And when I read this quote, it just makes me like go back to that conversation where remember when we were just hyped, we were like, they left the door open, they left the information out here, they let us get too smart and work too hard for it.
That's right.
And we're just like here right now. So like we're gonna take what's mine, then take some more. It makes me feel like, hey, we're about to get our piece of the cake when we're coming for as big of a slice as we can. Trust me.
Big of a slice, yo, and it's rightfully ours because we're building free markets for free people. So let's close out with this. Let's continue to round this corner, lads. The harvest is coming. Stay hungry. I promise you, we are all going to make it. And so, God, please do not give up on yourself. We are going to get there, yo. And it's exciting because I can't wait for you to be hype about the crypto moves, talking with people, being like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And I'm like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's,
I know. Yeah.
you know, because I'm gonna be wilding because it's like everything I taught you is gonna be on steroids. Because then you and I have you got to dig with me, and we've brought that into one central place now, and now we're whoever will listen to us, man.
But no matter how hype we are, I mean, remember that conversation we were having before we even started? Like, as hyped as we are, like the work is not gonna stop. Like we got to work just as hard on the way up and monitoring everything, and as you would always say, rinse, repeat at the right times, and you know, just learning our lessons. And coming out with as big of profits as we can.
And cancel out the noise, yo. If somebody's talking too much, cancel out the noise. You know, turn it off. Literally. Like even us, if we're talking too much, you know, I'm just kidding. Get in the Discord, hop in.
There's like nobody here left.
Everyone's
just kidding. We're happy you made it, dude. Everybody's here, dude. Welcome to the end.
But yeah, thank you guys for being here. We love you guys.
But yeah, that's all, folks.